Hello gang, Merlin Don on the mic. Today we will talk about Black Lucci, an OP07 leader. Black leader, 5 life, 5k attack. When attacking, you truss 2 cards from the top of your deck and then you give one of your opponents -1 for the turn. Like always, we will start talking about the leader, and we will check the guide together that I created for you guys. So what cards are you looking for when you're mulligan? What do you play between 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 and 9 and 10 dawn? The important cards in your deck, the combos that you can make with this deck, what you need to check, some hints, and of course what do you play on the odd, what do you play on the even curve when you play with Lucci. Then we will go to the simulator, we will check the deck list together and each one of the cards separately, so the cards that we need to check together, and finally we will also check 3 matches against meta decks from the new OP10 meta and see how this leader performs. So without any further ado, let's go to the guide. Like we said, Rob Lucci is a black leader with 5 life, 5k attack, and when you attack, you truss 2 cards. You need to have the cards that you want to see in your truss by playing this leader. Of course, it can also go south, and for example, you may truss some cards that you don't want to truss, but it is what it is. Most of the time you will see the cards that you want to see in your truss, and the rest of the cards you will have them in your hand. What cards are you looking for? You're looking for your Spandam, because with the Spandam you search the top 3 cards, you reveal 1 CP, you take it to your hand, and then the rest you put them into your graveyard, and you need cards in your graveyard, right? Brook, this is also a great card because you want to see the Brook, you want to have a removal out on the field as soon as possible. And of course Gecko Moria, because you might accidentally truss him by using your leader's ability or something else, so you just wanna see him in your first hand, then you know that you wanna play and you can play him. Between 1 and 3 dawns you play your Searcher and your removal. Between 4 and 6 you keep removing and controlling the board, or you might play blocker. Between 7 and 8 dawn you play your Chuck, you play your Gecko Moria, and you keep controlling the board. And then on the 9 dawn you may also play your Kaido if you need to, which has an activate main. This card has an activate main, so it's not a non-play. Keep that in mind in case you play against decks like Teach, because when you play against decks like Teach, you wanna have a character that can truss something and not a character that has an on-play, because if you have characters with on-play effects and Teach uses his ability, then they are just vanilla cards. For defense, you have Rebecca and Sabo blockers. You have Gecko Moria, who can bring back a Rebecca, so Moria can also bring back a blocker, right? And of course your 2Ks, Tsuru, Khalifa and Kaku. You always have to keep in mind your truss as Lucci. What exactly do you have in your truss, the cards that you have in there? You always want to have a Lucci so that you can bring him back with Gecko Moria and KO things. You want Rebecca, you want a Spandin to do the deadly combo, Gecko Moria into Rebecca, into Spandin, into Rob Lucci. Such a great combo. And of course the second card of Moria will be Helmepo, so you do a -3 and you have also done a -1 from your leader, so it's like crazy combo. Spandam, because if you don't have a Helmepo you can also play Spandam with Moria, or Tsuru, you can also play Tsuru to do a -2 instead of Helmepo. Important things to consider, because I have seen that like 1,000 times from my opponents. When you play Rob Lucci, you need to have 3 cards in your trash in order to play this card. If you don't have 3 cards in your graveyard, in your trash, you can't use the on-play effect of Rob Lucci. So make sure that you have 3 cards on your graveyard and then play Rob Lucci if you want to. And Spandin, you need 3 CP cards in your trash. If you don't have 3 CP cards is like Rob Lucci, like Spandin, or like that. If you don't have 3 CP cards in your trash, you can't use the on-play ability of Spandin. Kaku also needs 2 CP cards in your trash. If you don't have 2 CP, I repeat, CP cards in your trash, you can't use the on-play effect of Kaku. The combinations, the deadly combination that, excuse me, every One Piece TCG player hates. Gecko Moria himself. So you play Gecko Moria at 8 dawn or at 9 dawn, and then you play Rebecca active, and you play Helmeppo, either Helmeppo, Tsuru or Spandam rested, and then with Rebecca you bring from your trash a Spandin, you play a Spandin, and then use Spandin's ability and you play Rob Lucci. So with 8 dawn you play 8, 12, 14, 17, 21 value of dawn. It's so crazy that this card is not banned yet. So if you don't have a Rob Lucci, a Spandin, excuse me, you can bring it and play Brook also. As Rob Lucci, guys, you always gonna do the math. You wanna do the math. So do you want to KO something from your opponent? What does Brook? He has an on-play, and when attacking, you give a -1 to one of your characters, and then you KO something with 0 or with 0 cost, right? So it's an 1. The card of your opponent needs to be at 1 cost so that you can KO it with Brook. Exactly like Kaku. Kaku needs a card with 3 cost to be able to KO it. Rob Lucci, 2 and 1. You have Ice Age that does -5 to a card. So you can combine this. So this is your cheat, guys. You can just print it and take it always and have it always with you, or just print it in your minds, guys. So you wanna KO something that is like 6 cost, right? So what do you have? You have an Ice Age and a Brook. 5 + 1, 6. KO. You wanna KO something with 8k. Ice Age, Kaku. KO. You wanna KO something with 4 cost. Tempest Kick, Brook, KO. You want to KO something with 7 and 4. Ice Age, Lucci, Tempest Kick, Lucci. Right? Moria. If you play Moria and then with Rebecca, you bring, for example, either Brook or Rob Lucci. And with Moria you bring either Helmeppo or Tsuru. So with Moria you do you bring a Helmeppo. Let's say you bring a Helmeppo, right? So you give a character -3. If you bring with Rebecca Brook, you can KO a character of 4. Do you understand me? If you play with Moria, if the second character that you play with Moria is Tsuru. Tsuru does a -2 and the Brook does a -1, so you kill a 3 cost character, right? And exactly the same is also with Rob Lucci. If you are at 10 dawn, for example, and you play Gecko Moria, you have 2 more dawns. You can also play Ice Age or Tempest Kick, right? And remember, you can always, and you need always to attack first with your leader to give -1 to something, right? So you give -1 something with your leader, then you have Ice Age or Tempest Kick, and then you play your Moria, you give -3 or 2 Tsuru or Hermepo, and then you play your Brook or your Rob Lucci. And you always do the math here. So there are some arguments. Many say that Rob Lucci wants to go second. I would say in this meta you wanna go first. You're gonna go first because you want to play as soon as possible Jack, and then you can also play your Moria or your Kaido directly, right? So Spandam at 1 dawn, then Brook on curve, then you can play either Sabo or Kaku or even Rob Lucci. Then at 7 you play Jack, then you play Moria, and then you play Kaido. So even if Moria, even if you delay playing Moria 1 turn, I think that you have a strong start and you will be benefited from it. But even if you go second, it's also great because you play Moria then on curve, not Jack but Moria on curve, and then you can play your Spandam. Then on 4 dawn you can play either Lucci or Brook, depends on what you wanna do, or even Rebecca if you don't have any other play, right? And then on 6 dawn you play either Sabo or Kaku. 8 dawn, if you have a Moria, if you don't have a Moria, Jack. If you play against Stitch, Jack. And on your 10 dawn you play your Kaido. Let's check the cards in the simulator. So I already explained twice the leader to you. Spandin. What does Spandin do? So Spandin is a card that you want to have this card in your trash. Why? Because you want to bring this card back with Rebecca, using Rebecca, or using the combo Gecko Moria into Rebecca into Spandine. And Spandine needs you to have 3 CP cards in your graveyard. You return them to the bottom of your deck, and then you play your Rob Lucci for free, or another CP 4 cost or lower, but you will always wanna play your Rob Lucci. Brook, on play and when attacking, you give a -1 to one of your opponents, you KO something with 0 cost. Tsuru, -2, excuse me, to K. Kaku, you return 2 CP cards from your graveyard to your bottom deck, and then it KO something with cost 3 or less. If you will always combine it with your leader's ability. So you will first attack with your leader, you give something -1. That means that Brook can kill something with 2 cost. Kaku can kill instantly something with 4 cost, right? Then you have Khalifa. Khalifa is a 2k. Some people can also play Khalifa to draw 2 cards, trash 1 card, so recycle, and then also give an opponent -2 in your turn. You don't want to do that only if you really need to, because you just throw a 2k away, right? Spandam, it's your searcher and it helps you also fill your trash. Sabo, it's your blocker. It prevents your opponent from KOing things of your in your side with effects, so protects everything, and you also recycle 2 cards. Rebecca brings something back from the graveyard, 3 to 7 cost, and then you also play something with 3 cost or lower. So you use Rebecca to play Spandine or Brook. Rob Lucci, you return 3 cards from your graveyard to your deck, and then you KO something with 2 cost or less, and something with 1 cost or less. Gecko Moria, you play 1 character from your graveyard, 4 cost or less active, and then 1 character 2 cost or less as rested. So you want to do the combo that I have shown you in the guide, guys. Kaku, it's a 2k. You can also do the on play to give one of your opponent's character -3 for the turn. But like I said, with Khalifa, you wanna use him as a 2k, so only if you don't have any other choice, you use this character. and in order to do that, you need to return to the bottom of your deck 2 CP cards. Kaido, such a great card, especially in this meta, especially against decks like Teach, or also against other decks, because you discard one card from your hand. You can discard, let's say, a brick, right? And then you trust, not KO, you trust a 7 cost or lower character from your opponent. And they also get to discard one card from their hand. And if you combine it, for example, with a Tempest Kick, you trust something with Ice Age, you trust something, you trust everything, a 10 cost character, right? Or only with your leader's ability, without anything else, you trust something of a cost of 8 or lower. Jack, also a great card, especially if you play him on curve, because it's like it has a +4 cost, so it's not really easy for an opponent of yours to get rid of him. And it has also an activate main. You recycle a card, so you draw one, you trust one, and then you KO something to 3 or lower in combination with your leader's ability 4 cost or lower. Helmepo, 2 cost, -3, used with Gecko Moria. You want to see him in your trust. Ice Age, -5 to a character, and it has also trigger KO, one character of 3 or less. Same trigger from the Tempest Kick, and Tempest Kick is like if your trust has 10 or more cards, then you give an opponent of yours -3 and you get to draw a card, so it recycles itself. Great card, guys. Okay, so this was the card, this was the simulation in the simulator. Let's go to the matches. So first we play against Kid. We go first, we play our Spandin, and we drew Khalifa. As you can see from our hand, we have a Jack, we have a Sabo, we have a Brook, so we can go on curve and play Brook, Sambo, Jack, you know what I mean. So this is how strong the curve of Rob Lucci is. So now we are at 3, of course we will play our Brook and we KO his blocker, and of course we attack him as well. Now he attacks us, we take because we are healthy. Now he has played a 3 cost character and he gave him blocker ability from his leader's ability. Now we are at 5 tone and we drew a Moria, which is great for us, right? Now I see what do I have in the trust. And at this point I just play Sabo to populate my trust and recycle my hand as well, which is exactly what I do. And of course I put the Rebecca in the trust because I want the Rebecca. Then I attack him for 5, he takes. My characters are also immune. If he had something now to KO them, he wouldn't be able to do that. He attacks me, I defend that. He attacks me, I defend that as well. And then he plays 2 blockers that cannot be KO'd by effects, which is fine by me. Now I play my Jack on curve and I KO his 3 cost character. And then I go 5 into his life. I use my ability, leader's ability again. We have now our Gecko, we have a Kaku, we have a 2K, we have a Tempest Kick, right? So we have everything that we need. And look at our board. We have a Brook that can KO the 1 cost characters. We have a Sabo and we attack also with our Sabo, right? Because we have more than enough life. Now he attaches 3 dons and he attacks our Sabo and we will defend our Sabo, and then he plays Getatsu and KOs our Brook. Now we drew an Ice Age, and this is great because we can KO almost everything with this Ice Age, guys. And we are at 9 dawn, we have 16 cards, so we can use also our Tempest Kick, and of course we can play our Gecko Moria and have a full board now. So now I'm thinking which cards do I wanna play. So first I attack him. I gave him also with Tempest Kick -3 to recycle also the Tempest Kick. I have now 8 stone for my Moria. I attack him with my Sabo. I attack him with my Jack. And he's now down at 1 life. And then we play our Moria into a Rebecca, into a Helmepo. And then we will take with Rebecca, because we don't have a Spandin, a Brook, and then we will play this Brook, we will KO this Gedatsu, and we will pass. And as you can see, we have now a full board of so many characters. Now he plays his ace, but we do have our blocker, our Rebecca blocker, and now just look at this board that we have. So we can also KO this ace if we want to, right? Because we do have the Ice Age, and so first I attack him with 7s, and he's now at 0 life. Then I go 8. Gives me some cards, then I go 9 with my Moria, and then I just KO his ace, and he instantly gives up, because you can see this field, guys, this board. So I have everything. I have 4 life, I have big characters, and my opponent has nothing, and he also can't do anything at this point. Let's see now a game against Smoker. So we go first, he goes second. He plays his Searcher, we attack him, and unfortunately we don't have our Searcher, but we have our Brook on curve, and we play him. Then he plays his blocker, his 4-cost blocker here. We do have a Spandin here, and we want our Spandin in our graveyard. But we do have a Sabo, and Sabo helps us recycle things, right? And we do have 2 Ice Aces. So I was like here, do I wanna KO this blocker, or let's just do it later? This was my thought here, but I was like, okay, first I will give him -1. And then I will play my Sabo to recycle everything that I need and have everything that I need in my trash. Then he plays his Smoker, his 5-cost Smoker, and with Smoker he plays his TCG, guys. And this is also something that I wanted to show you here in this matchup, because you have to keep that in mind. I was like here, okay, you know what? I will use my KO effects, and I will kill with Rob Lucci both of your characters. But this does not work here. This does not work because Rob Lucci's effect. So you kill 2 characters with the same effect. So TCG protects Smoker. So even if Rob Lucci can kill 2 characters, because of TCG you kill only TCG and not Smoker. But in a situation like that, you have to bear in mind, and you have to keep that in mind, that if the opponent has a TCG, the best case scenario for you is to have a Brook, like in that case, because now the Smoker is still at 0 cost, right? So I kill him with my Brook. So in a case like that, just try to have a Brook in your field, in your board. or kill something else with your Rob Lucci. So now he plays a Hodi, he takes a life, he rests everything from my characters, and he kills my my Sabo. And now we are at 9 dawn, and we have some options here. We have some options because we have Tempest Kick, we have our Jack. So what we do here is first we hit him with Jack, then we use our Tempest Kick, then we play one Jack to KO his Hodi. We attack him with our Rob Lucci, we attack him with our Brook, and then he tries again to kill our Brook. He plays a Captain Kid, and he brings a TCG. And what we do here, of course, is we kill instantly the TCG with Jack. And guess what we bring then? We bring then a Kaido. We bring a Kaido with our Kaido. Of course, first look. Kaido KOs, or he does not KO, he trashes. He trashes a card with 7 cost or less. So if we combine that with our leader's ability, we can trash instantly something of cost of 8 or lower. So we can instantly trash a kid. This is exactly what we do here. We attack with our leader, do a -1, play our Kaido, trash this kid, and then he has also to trash, he needs also to trash a card from his hand, right? And then we have a huge board, he has nothing, and we win from that point. And the last game is against Usopp. This time he goes first and we go second. We go second, but we do have a Moria here, so we are fine. He plays his Leo and he searches, then we play our Spandam and we search. And now I was like, okay, I will grab a Spandam because he's also in 1k, and we will give him to our opponent as how's it called, counter. Now he attacks me and I do take that because I wanted to see some more cards here at that point, but the next one that he will play, I will counter that. Because you don't want to keep many cards when you play against a blue or a half blue deck, and this is exactly the reason why I countered now. So then I played Rob Lucci because without effect, of course, because I don't want to return the cards from my graveyard to the bottom of my deck, but I didn't have another option at this point, and he plays a blocker. He plays a blocker, we draw another Rob Lucci, so we are fine now. And we are at 6 turn. So as you can see, sometimes you just don't have the cards. You just don't have the cards, and this goes a moment like that. So I was like, okay, you know what? I will go 7, and then he instantly gives me this Frankie, and then he brings a Bartolomeo from the graveyard. And of course, I attack him first with Spandam, to make him give me one card if he wants to, and he gave me one card. Then I killed that with my Rob Lucci, and then of course I played another Rob Lucci from the graveyard. Now we don't have any cards in our trash, which is unfortunate. We do have some. Now we do have some cards in our trash because he played a Luffy, he played a Zoro, and at this point I gave him a 2k, I think, I hope. Remember, yes, I gave him a 2k because of course we don't want to lose everything on our field. We are now at 8 turn, and the only thing that we can play is of course Moria. So we search our we check our graveyard to see what we do have there and what we can do, what kind of combination we can do, right? And we see Rebecca, which is always good, and you need to check the characters of your opponent. So first we hit him. Now his characters have also +1 cost, right? You should never forget that. So we first hit him for 5k and we give -1 to the Zoro. Then we play Moria into Rebecca into Helmeppo. With Helmeppo we give -3 to this Zoro. We bring back Spandin. With Spandin we bring back Rob Lucci, and with Rob Lucci we KO Zoro and I think this Leo, right? And then of course we attack him with our Rob Lucci for 6k. He takes, he's now at 2, we are at 3, and we have a Kaido, and this Kaido wants to kill something, maybe on the next turn, or we will see. So he red rocks my Moria, and then he kills with his Rebecca my Helmeppo, and now he's with his leader 8k to my Rob Lucci. He kills him as well, and then 7k to my Rebecca because he uses his Monkey D. Luffy's ability. And now I see that he uses also the other ability to bring him to make him restand, and now we draw another Moria. And you can see how strong this deck is, because we do have everything that we need in our trash, and his Luffy will not get up anyway. So what we do here is we kill this Rebecca, and then we play Moria into Rebecca, into Helmeppo, into Spandin, and we KO that with our Rob Lucci. So we had 0 cards in our field, he had 2, and now in one turn we cleared his board, and we have a full board with a blocker, with a huge character, with some small attackers. This is how strong this deck is, guys. So then he played a Kyros for 7 cost, and he bounced my Rebecca back to my hand. I'm thankful about it. He attacked me. Then he attacks me with Kyros because he has states and he can attack instantly with characters that he plays, my Rob Lucci, and I sacrificed 3 of my cards to save him because I want to keep him, right? Then I attack him for 5 and I trust 2 more cards, and I give -1 to... don't know why. Oh, I didn't do the effect. Exactly. And then of course it's time for Kaido. We trust our Rob Lucci. He needs to trust a card, and we have a Kaido. He has again nothing on his board. We have a Moria, we have a Lucci, we have a Kaido, we have our leader. He has only 2 life, and we have in our hand a Tempest Kick, which can recycle 1 card, and a Spandan to protect ourselves. So first he used another Red Rock to our Kaido, okay. Then a Cavendish to and tries to kill our Lucci. He does not manage that, and then we draw another Moria, and this is how valuable this card is. So the value that this card gives in this deck is like crazy. It's like crazy, because you can do exactly the same. Now we can do exactly the same. To Dawn, to our leader, he takes, and then I was like, okay, you know what? He has only 3 cards, now he has 4. Maybe he can't do anything about it. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I will go 9-9. I will not die anyway, and we won like that. So sometimes there is an argument. I could also KO this Cavendish, play another Moria, secure this win. Yeah, this was also a possibility, but sometimes, because blue decks, they don't have any Rush characters, or they don't play. I think there is an Usopp or something like that, but they don't play Rush characters. So sometimes you just see how many cards your opponent has, how much life, and then you just go for game, even if you have the cards that you need and you can play the longer game, because there is always a timer in One Piece. Don't forget that, guys. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this this guide as much as I did. Like the video if you liked what you saw. You can write me down in the comment section below your thoughts. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you all for watching, guys. Until next time, peace. Bye.